Welcome to Managing for Results, the key to more responsive government. As a national correspondent, I have reported on the move to reinvent government at the national and local level. Today, Managing for Results is the cutting edge of the efforts the public sector is making to be more responsive to its ultimate customers, the citizens. This video, Beginning the Process, Key Concepts and Tools for Managers and Department Heads, is the first of a three-part series that will introduce you to Managing for Results and to some of the critical issues which municipal and local leaders face as they address citizen dissatisfaction and disengagement. The purpose of this series is not to provide every answer to every problem, but to give you insight into the issues which surround this topic. In this program, topics to be covered include moving from inputs to outcomes, who are our stakeholders, the importance of strategic plans and visioning processes, what are performance measures and benchmarks, the role of citizen surveys, and utilizing service efforts and accomplishment reports. Finally, we will hear from practitioners about leadership challenges and benefits as their organizational cultures move toward a results orientation. Let's begin with this question. Why be concerned with outcomes or results? Isn't performance measurement, managing for results, and reinvention of government just another fad, just another attempt to repackage other efficiency theories? Let's hear what some leaders and experts think.
There are many movements that come and go. We heard people talking about planning, program, budgeting years ago, zero-based budgeting, management by objectives, total quality management. Now we hear people talking about strategic planning and measuring results and so forth. All of these movements are said to be fads, are said to come and go. In fact, what's good remains.
In the old days, we had an agricultural hierarchical society with obedience as a core value. Then we moved to the industrial era with bureaucracy as an organizing principle, with compliance and rule of law as our currency. Now we're stumbling into the information age. We're just barely into it. And we're getting networked organizations, very flexible frameworks for organizations changing a lot. And the new currency is results or outcomes.
Video 2 of the series, The Management Challenge Leading an Empowered Workforce, covers these topics.
Citizens as customers, the challenges and benefits of flattening bureaucracies, creating and supporting self-directed work teams, issues of compensation, and the organizational and individual resistance encountered when creating an outcomes or results-based workforce. The most significant shift necessary for this new way of doing business is to redefine who public servants are responsible to. Instead of being accountable only to their direct supervisors, top managers and all government employees must now consider themselves accountable to various stakeholders, including businesses, civic groups, and all of the citizens throughout the jurisdiction. As a way of reinforcing the importance of this shift, many governments are now considering their citizens as their customers. Customer service, customer satisfaction, and even customer delight are all ways of saying that what citizens think and feel about the services they receive is becoming more and more critical.
We sometimes forget that the taxpayers are our customers. And the difference with our customers and the customer going out to buy a car is that the customer going out to buy a car, if they don't like their service, they can go someplace else. In city government, in county government, state government, they can't do that. They have to deal with you.
It's clear, and we're trying to make it clearer for our employees, that because our citizens pay taxes, they are customers. They're buying a service or a set of services and products, and they have every right to expect excellent service in return for that. In municipal government, we haven't always recognized that because you don't see the money change hands for a given service. It's not the...
And Video 3, Sustaining Momentum, Creating Collaborations for Shared Outcomes, looks at the key area of creating collaborations with all sectors of society.
Sustaining Momentum, Creating Collaborations for Shared Outcomes is the third video in the series Managing for Results, the Key to More Responsive Government. This program will focus on the collaborations and partnerships which need to be created and nurtured in order to achieve shared outcomes in a results-based environment. These partnerships include ones between governments and within governments in both horizontal and vertical directions, with the private sector, with the world of nonprofits, and most importantly, with the citizens of your communities. Here are some examples of the collaborations that have broken through agency silos. The Oregon option is an outstanding example of creating a vertical partnership. Here, the federal, state, and local governments work together to increase efficiency and eliminate costly bureaucratic oversight. It's one example of the federal government creating waivers to give a state more flexibility in spending block grant money. This was done because of Oregon's work with outcome measures and its reliance on a citizen-driven strategic planning process called Oregon Benchmarks.
Well, it's been actually very interesting, and I think the most productive area for the benchmarks, frankly, because by focusing on outcomes, we're able to go to our partners, particularly at the federal level, as we have done now in a couple of specific instances, and say, listen, we will make representations and guarantees to you that we will achieve certain outcomes if you, on the other hand, will give us flexibility, either in the funding stream or in the regulatory process, that will allow us to get here faster, better, and with greater certainty.
There are three basic traits to any activity that we get involved in the Oregon option. The first of those is that each activity is results-driven, and the result is usually an Oregon benchmark, such as reducing teenage pregnancy or having children enter school ready to learn. Another guiding principle is that there are always partnerships. These are intergovernmental partnerships. They might also include nonprofit or business partners as well. And very often we have federal, state, and local partners involved. And then the third principle is that there is virtually always heavy grassroots involvement.
As shown in these programs, the benefits derived from managing for results include providing a vision and a strategic plan which all stakeholders can support, including citizens and stakeholder input into the governing process, flattening hierarchies to facilitate more flexible and responsive organizations, creating a more empowered and involved workforce, and establishing partnerships and collaborations with other government entities and all sectors of a community. All of these benefits helping to achieve the most important goal of all, a re-engaged and re-energized citizenry. With the purchase of the Managing